Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm back with another build for the Sims 4 Werewolves Gamepack. I'm obsessed with this pack. Building with this pack has been so inspiring, and I decided to build on a 30 by 30 lot, and I wanted to create a hidden underground build, and I also wanted to build a cave, so I decided to combine both ideas, and I started off by working on the cave, as you can see here. I think both aspects are just perfect for a really secret build. Like, you have the cave, you have an underground section. It's just perfect if you want to do some secret werewolf stuff, I guess. And I raised the terrain, as you saw. I created a slope in the front so your Sims or werewolves can just walk up there and they can enter the cave. And for the cave, I built a room, as you saw, and then just a ceiling, a floor piece at the top, and I placed lots of debug rocks on top. I sized some of them up, and I simply placed so many that there weren't any gaps left, so you couldn't see the floor below. Also, the default color for a floor piece pretty much has the same color as these rocks, so even if there should be like a tiny gap, it's not really that visible. I used the doorway from the new pack just to have a really fancy entrance area, and I just placed so many rocks. Later on, I decided to use the new fence from the pack. At first, I used the debug version, which wasn't really working, and I then decided to simply use the regular fence and a gate. The gate isn't really centered, and I'm a bit sad about this. I wish we could freely place gates on a fence, just like we can place windows and doors on a wall now. But I mean, it still looks great and it's functional, which is the most important part probably. And the Sims basically just walk up the slope, they enter the secret cave, and then they can walk down the stairs into the secret underground layer, which was so much fun to build. And I placed a rug to have a guideline, but this isn't for the underground part at all. I just used these like fence posts to have a little fence in the front because I wanted to have this beautiful fence right next to my slope. And the cool thing is, as you will see, for the underground part, I didn't use any tricks, anything like any fancy building tricks or the tool mod to create the round shape. I'm simply going to use a debug object from Journey to Batu, which is round and has the perfect dimensions, as you will see. So this is really simple. If you want to recreate this, it's just a really simple way to have a beautiful round shape, and I just created it this way. I used some terrain paint to make it look a bit more natural and also run down. I love the aesthetic of this. It's just so much fun. And here you can see how I'm placing a debug gate and also a fence. And this like didn't make sense at all, as I said. So I simply placed a fence. Like, sometimes when you want to use a proper fence, the problem is that you can only place it straight or diagonal, and sometimes the angle isn't right depending on what you're going for. But in this case, it was working out fine, and I placed so many rocks just to really expand the cave. And I think the difficult part about a build like this is just to have a nice transition between the cave part and the underground part. Like, I wanted this to look natural, and I had no idea where the rocks should end at first, kind of. And here you just saw the fence finally. I also decorated with some of the new objects and different things, and it's just so fancy. And the main part of the build is completely underground and hidden. You only see the circle that you saw in the beginning. There are 4 bedrooms. There's a big bathroom, like a community bathroom type of thing, just like I used the showers from Discover University, for example, and it's like really run down. And here you can see the object, like it's just a debug object from Journey to Batu, and you can see how I'm building the basement, and the shape of this object on the inside is just perfect for this. I could really align my walls from the basement with this object, and it just looks perfect, as if it's just meant to be. So I can totally recommend using this object. And I know that Journey to Batu doesn't have as many fans as some other packs to word it carefully, but I feel like Build By is just amazing. And if you are into this type of style, like the pack like the vibe of the Werewolves pack, for example, then you will probably also enjoy Journey to Batu, especially because of debug. There are like so many amazing objects in this pack, and I can just totally recommend it. I then used the debug fence eventually. I wanted to make it look extra fancy and also a bit scary. So I placed all these fences around my round section. So it's like really fenced off and no one can enter. It's like really their little secret base and no one can get in. So I decided to use this very scary looking fence for this. I used the tool mod to lower it into the ground a bit. I could have also placed the fences in the basement and raise each one individually by pressing 9 on my keyboard, but this was just a bit quicker. And then I placed more debug rocks. These are from the new pack actually, and the thing is, most debug rocks are kind of similar. We sometimes get a different color, but they most of the time repurpose them from older packs, and these rocks are just to design the world essentially, and it's only like a bonus that we get access to debug and live at it and we can use them, so it's not a problem in my opinion. But sometimes we even get like completely new rocks, and I think it's always very exciting to take a look at the debug rocks. And the ones that I had placed just have this beautiful moss on top. And I think there's a similar one in the base game, but this one has a different color now, which is amazing because when you just want to match different debug rocks, you want to have a similar color. And the ones from the base game are beige, like this very light, beautiful brown color, but these now have this very cool tone gray, and I can just combine them with all kinds of other gray debug rocks, so I'm always excited about this. And here I'm working on the underground part. In the center you see the outdoor area and the stairs are leading down there, and I placed this bonfire fire pit. I also placed it in the cave as you saw in the very beginning, and I then just added lots of doors and doorways so your Sims can just access all these different areas and they can just hang out here. This is like a really small area for like watching TV, maybe like a really small rundown living room, and it was so hard to furnish this. Just like my other build, I feel like the exterior comes along so easily and I have so much fun just trying something new, but furnishing with only these new objects is a bit difficult at first. I decided to use this, I think it's from the base game, this really rundown counter from the base game because it just looks a bit old, and I then rotated a cabinet so it looks as if it's about to fall down. I really wanted to have this vibe, so it's like really run down, as I said, just like as my last build. Not abandoned, but it has seen better days, and just, I don't know, maybe they just tried to find a secret lair and they just furnished it somehow with some stuff that was laying around. It looks like really not that beautiful, but it's fun. It's really fun to try something new. I also used objects from the Vampires pack. You have these wall decorations that make the walls look very old and broken, which is just perfect and exactly the vibe that I was going for. And this build is a bit smaller in comparison to the last one, but I just wanted to try different lot sizes in the new world. This is a 30 by 30 lot, as I said, and let me know if you would like to see more werewolves builds. I know that it's like a really specific style and theme, but I really enjoy the new pack, and just let me know if you want to see more or if you want to see something different. I for one like really enjoy the pack. It's like so much fun, and yeah, I can totally recommend combining this pack with Journey to Batu and also Strangerville, because Strangerville has a lot of weird objects in it, also a kind of rundown weird look, so you can combine different things, and I think these packs work well together. Like some packs can be combined perfectly, like they just have the same vibe and aesthetic and you can just try to combine them, but I mostly try to really use the objects from the new pack here. So it really has a focus on the Werewolves pack. I also use some other objects, of course, but as you can see here while I'm furnishing all these bedrooms, the main focus is the Werewolves pack, and I wanted to have a double bed for at least one bedroom. At first I wanted to combine two of the Werewolves bed, but those wouldn't be a proper double bed, so I just used this one. It also looks a bit old and not as good, and I really tried to make it really random and not beautiful, which was hard. But I hope that you still enjoy it. I hope that your werewolves might enjoy this build, and this video is slowly coming to an end. This build is available in the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald, and you can also grab the tray fat from my Patreon if you want to. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. A big thank you to Anna, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Miku GDJ, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Talena Lynn, Stephen and Tina Turner. Thank you for your gigantic support. A huge thank you to all my other Patreons. I love you so much. Thank you to anyone who watches my videos. You are all the best and I love you so much. I hope you have a perfect weekend. I hope you enjoy the new pack if you should play it, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.